Another really cool episode of Doctor Who last night. Ian, Susan and Barbara have been captured by the revolutionaries. The Doctor is briefly a prisoner of a chain gang and he's managed to escape and he's on his way to Paris. Ian's about to witness, potentially, and this is our cliffhanger, Barbara and Susan get guillotined. Oh, say it ain't so. We'll find out next week what happens. I think they'll be okay though. Just a hunch. Let's discuss the characters and casting of this particular serial. Actor and lyricist James Cairncross portrayed Citizen Lemaitre, having been recommended to Hirsch by production assistant Timothy Combe, recalling his stage performances. The concierge jailer was played by Jack Cunningham, who was also suggested by Combe. Spooner created the jailer character to add humour to the serial's heavy plot. Combe also recommended Neville Smith as D'Argenson and John Barrard as the shopkeeper, after working with both on Z-Cars, as well as Roy Herrick as Jean, having attended drama school together, and Tony Wall as Napoleon after seeing his theatre work. Donald Morley, cast as Jules Renan, previously performed alongside Jacqueline Hill in The Shrike, while Peter Walker, cast as the young child, featured in Hirsch's television play Bloomsday. Ron Pickup, who played the physician, heard about the role from his friend Frank Cox, director of previous serial The Censorites, episodes 5 and 6 of The Censorites specifically. Keith Anderson, cast as Maximilian Robespierre, had written to Hirsch prior to his casting, mentioning his appearance in an episode of Sergeant Cork. But what was the Reign of Terror exactly? Some of us may not be as familiar with this event in history, so I'm going to let Wikipedia do the talk. Well, I'm going to do the talking, but Wikipedia has done some nice people in Wikipedia have done the writing for us. The Reign of Terror, French La Terreur, was a period of the French Revolution when, following the creation of the First Republic, a series of massacres and numerous public executions took place in response to revolutionary fervour, anti-clerical sentiment, and accusations of treason by the Committee of Public Safety. There is disagreement among historians over when exactly the Terror began. Some consider it to have begun only in 1793, giving the date as either the 5th of September, June, or March, when the Revolutionary Tribunal came into existence. Others, however, cite the earlier time of the September massacres in 1792, or even July 1789, when the first killing of the revolution occurred. The term terror being used to describe the period was introduced by the Thermidorian reaction, who took power after the fall of Maximilian Robespierre in July 1794 to discredit Robespierre and justify their actions. Today there is consensus amongst historians that the exceptional revolutionary measures continued after the death of Robespierre, and the subsequent period is now called the White Terror. By then, 16,594 official death sentences had been dispensed throughout France since June 1793, of which 2,639 were in Paris alone, and an additional 10,000 died in prison, without trial or under both of these circumstances. And just for a little bit of background on the French Revolution, not an extensive amount, but just the opening paragraph, the French Revolution was a period of radical political and societal change in France that began with the Estates General of 1789 and ended with the formation of the French Consulate in November 1799. Many of its ideas are considered fundamental principles of liberal democracy, while phrases like liberté, égalité, fraternité reappeared in other revolts such as the 1917 Russian Revolution and inspired campaigns for the abolition of slavery and universal suffrage. The values and institutions it created dominate French politics to this day. But yes, as to the episode itself, episode 2 of the 6-part serial Reign of Terror, episode 2 is very solid. Good cliffhanger, the plot moves forward strongly, eventful, very happy with it here. Do tune in next time if you'd like to view and hear about episode 3 of The Reign of Terror, if you're so inclined.